There, and I think we'll find we've got 80,000 people here today.
OK, Len, we'll talk to you a little bit later. And at half-time, we'll have another laugh at some sporting wacky one, and with just 2 second division premierships in 84 and 86. But since returning to the
for the Borough, Lindsay Snedden back after 2 weeks injury. He's gone into the ruck to replace Brett Chadban. Let's hear from the Borough coach, George Allen. 9th games today, and would you believe that for Peter Nicholson, who's captain today, 98 of those games have been in succession. That must be some record. Turner and Bolton missing. They're in the VFA squad, hence Nicholson is captain. Jeff Hocking, a former VFA player, will be in the ruck, and he'll be doing battle against Lindsay Snedden. Let's hear from the controversial coach of the Mustangs, Harold Martin.
Because the situation on the ladder, we're just a game out of the 4. We're going to be extremely desperate, and we've...
Welcome to Phil Cleary.
Thank you, Peter.
And we're away. This should be a terrific game. We just wonder how the VFA enforced changes will affect the sides. Port, you'd think, worse off, as Allender got the ball across there to Strooper. Chance now for Larkin. Number 13 beaten for it. Nicholson, there he is, Peter Nicholson feeding the handball off. Away goes Pevitt. Drives towards half forward, very open forward line for the Mustangs. That's Robertson trying to get into the action. Sliding in there was Brown, number 7. And the Mustangs, the first time we've seen them on television this season. Box Hill in the unfamiliar to our television audience, brown and gold. Of course, the famous red and blue vertical stripes of Port Melbourne. Well, fellas, how do you think it's going to go? Do you think the VFA changes will make this game a closer one than perhaps we expected?
Well, I think it will, Peter. Certainly the loss of Chadban, I think, will affect Port Melbourne and Harkins too, because Port were very keen to get balance into their side and running players, and Harkins has been playing well. Box Hill aren't a bad side. I like Wolf at centre half forward, very useful player.
Barry Dwyer getting them up towards half forward. Robertson couldn't control it. Off the ground from Witzel. Foley. Ground's in very good nick here. Kept his balance well there. Allender, here he is, as you heard, suffering from the flu. Presence of mind to pick out Roy Ramsey. And he brings up the first score of the day after a minute and a half behind. How do you think it'll go, Sam?
Yes, Peter, it'll be a very entertaining game. I mean to say, while both sides have been decimated because of the VFA journey to Perth, there's a lot of incentive for both sides to do well. Port Melbourne to consolidate their place in the 4, and on the other hand, Vauxhall endeavouring to slide themselves in there. It'll be a very good game.
Good mark from David Banfield. Doesn't come to advantage. Back inboard from Cootie. Got it back from Witzel. Good pressure on him from Wolf. And from half back. Pressure put right on Fitzgerald there. Foley. A bit undecided about where to go. Behind the pack, Morrison. Being pressured by Quinn. First gamer. Scores a try. 2 behinds Port Melbourne after 2.5 minutes. Umpires today are Ross Walker and Tony Gleeson. Harold Martin, no doubt, will have nothing to do with those 2 gentlemen this afternoon. Banfield, yes, another good mark.
The brother of Peter Banfield, the Brisbane Bears player, Peter.
Well, not such a good kick. Strooper. Looks like they're endeavouring to play that Norm Goss wing where possible. Here's Foley. He's beaten everything early. And that's the first major. 3 minutes
to nothing. They get out again through Snedden. And forward they go. Bright sunshine here at Northport. Collins overruns it. And Witzel feeds it to Swan. This is dangerous. Lines him up, but he's missed, I think.
She rarely misses those 2, Ross. Billy Swan, when he's on the end of a chain of handball streaming into goal, he's normally right on target.
He'd be disappointed. He should have kicked that one. And straight down the middle go the Mustangs.
Get it out!
Swan underneath it. Preston for Box Hill, number 32. Ruck Rover at the bottom of the pack. Be pleasing coach Harold Martin, but that's Port's coach, George Allen. Hocking 33. The Box Hill wins the tap. Shark by Foley. He's doing well there. Can't quite gather it cleanly. It's Tough in the middle. Here's Hocking. Good gather, good skills, the big fellow. Finds a man out wide in Fitzgerald. He looks for a short one into the pocket. Allender from behind spoils his opponent well and then gets the free kick. You saw that well, Tony Brown, the infringer.
Very lucky to escape without a 50-metre penalty there.
Allender calling for the water boy before the match. We're interested to see whether he lasts the match. Good kick. There's a push in the back possibly to Fitzgerald. He looks at the umpire and says, why not?
The humour content at the moment.
And that's tough play in there on Box Hill there.
From Snedden, they'll eventually get it away. Weight of numbers coming out for the Boroughs. Missed it, Foley. Pressure on skipper Nicholson. Pevitt, the centreman. Out towards Morrison. Swan bundles him out of the way. Hogan. Oh, good use of the body. Robertson can't get back in there and Allender cleans up. Plenty of loose men. Strooper's been in everything early. Got a man on his own. This is the first gamer streaming towards it. Couldn't keep it in, young Quinn. Throw in midway between wing and half forward for Port Melbourne. As I said, a glorious afternoon. Chilly, but the spectators enjoying the sunshine. You can see them out in front of the Norm Goss stand, basking on the concrete. They're preferring standing in it today rather than sitting in the shade. Here's Quinn. Good pick-up. He was tackled well, and the free kick will go the way of Banfield. We've played nearly 7 minutes here at Port. 9 plays nothing. Port Melbourne lead. Let's go to Len Thompson.
9-minute mark here. Carlton and Collingwood 1-1-7. Now to John Rice.
At the 11-minute mark, Fitzroy 2 points, level with North Melbourne 2 points. Over to Mike Hanlon.
We've played 10 minutes at Cardinia Park and Melbourne 1 point, trail Geelong 1 goal. Over to Steve Perkin.
12 minutes first term, Footscray 3 straight goals, Hawthorn 1-2-8 to James Weston.
Played 11 minutes at Windy Hill, the Eagles 3-2-20, lead Essendon yet to score.
Ends the right of screen. They're in their forward zone at the moment, but under pressure from Box Hill. Oh, that's strong play, getting it forward. And Jarrett's from the full back does well, but Port still through Swan. A shot on goal, right into the teeth of goal. Out across the
middle. Almost for Hogan. Look at all the Port men there. Here's a chance for Quinn. Oh, good vision. Picked out a teammate and hit him right on the chest. Brendan Butimer. Pretty keen on a goal and shouldn't have too many problems from 30 metres. 45-degree angle. Comes the left footer. Well, that is a very bad hit. No one going past. Man out wide. Hocking, is it? Yes, he's tapped it down to a teammate. Away goes Preston. Paul Preston up to full forward. Now, big chance for Box Hill here. Did he see someone there? Well, it's taken away by Snedden. He finds Swan. Plenty of loose Burrows. Roy Ramsey. Nothing really to kick to, so just puts it up in the general direction. Collins, plenty of time. Could handball to Jarrett's. Passes instead. Not a very good one to Dwyer, but he's got plenty of time. He's got nothing much either, so a long bang up forward. Snedden through to Strooper. He and Foley have been in everything, and there they are together. Witzel couldn't quite. Good pressure from Morrison. Throwing midway.
In the best use of. Port into attack. That way comes. There's a free.
Too high.
Oh, not on the full. Is it his own man? It's Foley again. His 8th possession in just about 11 minutes. Very busy, the Ruck Rover.
The line's the mark. The line's the mark.
Looks like he's going to use the torpedo. It's not a bad one, but drifts into the pocket.
All clear.
Wasn't a good one in the end.
Well, makes you wonder.
Way between a torp and a drop punt, the way he held it. That one's much better. Snedden couldn't hold it. Hocking there with him. He doesn't want to hit it out. Now he sees a man. Morrison got sat on rather than pushed. And umpire Gleeson comes in to bounce.
Yeah, they haven't opened up, Port, or they seem to have more class and use the ball better, but they just haven't been able to put the goals on the board so far.
Quick hands out there to Swan. Came from Larkin, and the marks for Hogan. Bit of danger, but he finds Hocking. He's got a loose man, Pivot, out wide. Man coming in to do the shepherd for him, Fitzgerald. Allender left it behind, but he's got support as well. Burke can't quite find a teammate. Not much room to move there for Peter Smith, who's had a bit of a haircut, I think, since we last saw him. And there's Harold Martin leaning on the fence. It's as close as he'll get to the playing arena this afternoon. Over the top, Wolf. McMahon couldn't take it with him. And they'll do it all again.
But I won't say it.
I saw it last week.
Used to be a creek around through that ground, apparently, which they dammed up.
It still is.
Now Box Hill in a goal. Great mark. Who was that?
Wolf, I think, is it? No,
That's
Robertson.
Well, Dale Robertson.
Well, if he
Here
can
it is
mark
again.
Yeah, if he can mark like this, Ross, I'd be kicking the ball to him most of the afternoon.
Firm footing,
Right there, Greg.
shot of the angle. That's what, 45 degrees, a roundabout.
Right
He's going
there.
to kick with the left foot. Making it a little bit more difficult for himself, but it doesn't matter, I don't think. Oh, yes, it does.
Well played.
Well, it was very encouraging, that mark. It obviously shows that they have got a focal point to attack, and I'm sure Harold will be very annoyed in the manner in which they've played the opening 15 minutes. He felt the only opportunity they had of winning was to play long and direct and hopefully win in the centre bounce area through Hocking.
Of course, Box Hill without full forward Bolton in the VFA side for Tuesday. But here come Port to attack again. Here's Collins, pretty pacey player. Whips it out to Pivot, good player. Now Hocking with indirect. It's going to come off. Fitzgerald inside the 50 on the left, centres it. That's good play at the back. Wolf, one-handed. Now he's got it. He's got a man. Here's a goal coming up. Nicholson. The captain scores Box Hill's first goal.
And the side will go up the other end and convert.
5 points the difference halfway through the term. Here's Collins banging the Mustangs forward. There's the lead for Robertson. No, it's not Robertson.
Back him, leader, back him, leader, back Heath, thanks, come on.
Burke it is. And there, this is Robertson, I think.
No, here we go, here we go.
No.
We'll get him shortly,
Tony
Peter.
Brown, I think it is.
It's good of them to show us their numbers early. First time for the year we've had a look at Box Hill, as you may have already gathered.
Line, you're right on.
Brown about 25 metres out. And they've worked that down very quickly. Plenty of loose men too. Tony Brown.
Oh,
He's just got it, I think.
we were riding that one.
Yes. So they're in front.
So those Box Hill players are Hocking, Fitzgerald, Preston and Pivot in the centre. But Swan for Port gets them forward. Gerrits leads his man in the race full. That's McCormack. Good side bump too on Quinn. Tries to give it back. Right in front of the coaches. Number 1 was McMahon, who overran the ball. A sloppy kick up forward.
Well, here we see on replay a young guy there, Michael Quinn. It's good to see they're encouraging the youngsters and giving them a chance. And they've really, they've used the ball a heck of a lot better, you know, far more purposeful and direct. Here we see Witzel convert from a 40 to 50-yard region. But more importantly, as I said, they kick the ball much longer than Box Hill. Box Hill have, you know, flat out kicking the ball 20 or 30 yards, and it's so indirect. We see a guy like Pivot who's playing quite well in terms of acquiring possession in the centre, but doing very, very little with it.
That's the problem up there, isn't it, Sam? That forward line, Wolf's not doing enough. Is it a case of just the side not being skilled enough, Box Hill, just not being up to scratch? And, you know, you sort of hope as a commentator that they pick up a few things, but maybe Port are just too strong.
Well, they are, you know, they're not a very tall side, are they, Box Hill? They're small, they're low to the ground. And as I said, they squander a lot of opportunity, and their forward thrust on occasions, we saw them handle a ball 6 or 7 times indirectly, as opposed to on the odd occasion when they have kicked long, they've looked quite good, looking for Kennedy and Wolf up forward. And they've looked a far more composed side. Hocking in the centre early doors started off very, very well and gave them first use of the ball.
Has been a big say on the game. Now, he's a player who's often in their best players in the ruck, but, you know, he's taken the odd mark, but I think he'd really have to put in a bottler in the second half to give him a big chance out of the middle of the ground. And as I was saying earlier, they just aren't using the ball well enough, and the chances they've had, they haven't...
Well, we've got a real ball game on our hands.
Well, they're going from right to left, 30 points down. Here's Allender from half-back. He's just about generaled it from there. Mutimer leaves it behind. Quick handball out from the new chum Quinn. McCormack couldn't take it with him. Desperation from Collins. Now, here's Hart. Getting some shepherding from Cooper. Just took his eyes off the ball and paid the penalty. There's Harold Martin.
He's going to be confined to that side of the ground for quite a while yet, Peter.
10 weeks.
Well, he's got 8 after today.
So it's about 60 metres around from the Port Melbourne goal. The 239s. Cooper for Port. On him, Banfield. Snedden. Witzel. Nicholson. Foley got the call and delivered it. Inch perfect.
You're right on it. Don't come over it.
That's experience for you, isn't it?
Ross.
Oh, that's a shocking kick, but he's marked it.
So the ball
Across to Strooper. 2 against 1. Off the ground, it's a goal for McCormack. That's his second, and there can't have been much
back in this match. In attack, Port. Preston. He's Port in attack. Where are we? What day is it? This is the football. McCormack in front, too tall. Risky hand pass, the man's free. Into the pocket. Oh, there's a lucky bounce. Cooper. Can he hook it over the shoulder again? He has. Second goal over the shoulder from Cooper. Dean Cooper. And Port Melbourne now by 7 goals.
really is inept defence here from Box Hill.
Gee, it wasn't a very kind bounce though, Sam, was it?
No, it wasn't, but by the same token, the damage was done further afield. You know, just giving far too much latitude to the...
Hasn't got a left foot. Good positioning there from Banfield. Held out Cooper well.
I think they'll donate this ball.
Allender. Nice pass. Oh, beauty. Pinpoint landing there from young Quinn.
You're right there. Don't go over it.
To the edge of the goal square. Hocking. Yeah. Well, I don't know if it's gained much. Morrison. Well, plenty of loose men here. In the middle, it's Pevitt along the same lines. The pressure's being put on Port, and that's holding the ball against Allender. He really shouldn't have got the handball.
That's Jared Foley to present the trophy, Athol Hodgetts.
Well done, Jared. Congratulations. It's a pleasure in presenting the A&A award for the man of the match. Well done.
Thanks.
Terrific stuff. Well done, Jared.
Thanks.
Back to the shootout.